Hi there everyone. So today I'm going to show you how you use your embroidery module. You might not even have one yet, but you might like to get one. So it's a perfect opportunity to have a bit of a look and see what you think. So when you buy some of the 7 series, they have the ability to have an embroidery module put on them. So at the moment Bernina have got a sale. And you can buy an embroidery module at a reduced price, so it's not a bad time to buy. So we are going to show you how you attach it, and I'm also going to show you where you find your embroidery designs. So on your Bernina, if you have got the ability to have an embroidery module on it, you go to your home button, which is this button here. And you'll see you've got a picture of a straight sewing and you've got a picture of an embroidery module, So you touch the embroidery. Your whole machine now is telling you what to do. So it's paint by numbers, you cannot do it wrong. So it's telling you to drop the feed dogs, which you drop on the side, and it's telling you to put the embroidery module on. So this large contraption here is your embroidery module, and you just lift it up and you line it up on the side and it clips down just like it shows you in the picture. That's showing me my last thing that I did. I'll just get out of there. So this is what it will show you when you turn it on and you put your module on. So it's got ABC for alphabet. It has got a butterfly that's going to have all your designs. You can import, believe it or not, all your fancy stitches and normal stitches off your sewing machine, and then you can save them into this folder. So we'll start off by going to ABC. These are my alphabets. Now every single machine has different alphabets depending on what model you buy. So this 790 Plus has got 3 pages. So that's 1, 2, 3. It has a lot of alphabets, okay? So I'm just going to pick the basic alphabet to start off with. You have got uppercase, you have got lowercase, you have got numbers, and you've got all those other little squiggly things. They've got a name, can't think what it is. So I'm going to go to alphabet first. I'm going to write my name, so R, O, B-Y-N, and I'm going to tick it. So this is showing my name, but can you see what's showing up here? It is telling me I have not got the right foot on. So it's showing me 20C, which is the foot I've got on. It's pretty clever, but I'm going to push that button and it's going to tell me the right foot by showing me a star. So the right foot is foot 26. So I'm going to find foot 26, which is this one, and it's got a teardrop shape in the bottom of it. And I'm going to take off my 20C and I'm going to put on the correct foot. And I'm going to tell the machine I've put on the correct foot. Okay? The next thing, can you see down here it's showing you a yellow 9mm. I'm going to touch that. And I'm going to put my straight stitch plate on. So I'm going to go to 0 straight stitch plate. So I'm going to take off my stitch plate. Oh, I should clean my machine while I'm in here because I've been doing lots of sewing. Perfect time to show you. I have been very, very, very busy. So in my little bag of tricks in here, I've probably taken it out now because I've been cleaning. No, there it is. So I'm going to just brush out all my bits of fluff. Wow, I clean this, I would say at the moment, every second day. Just shows you how dirty it gets. Now when you're cleaning, you need to make sure also you clean the back of your sew plate. It gets so dirty, you have no idea. And then get a cloth, which I haven't got there. So I'm now going to put my straight stitch plate on, and I'm just going to put it to the left and then push it down. Really hard because it's very tight. So to take them off, you just push the corner and lift it off, but to push it down, you push it in very tight. So now I've got the right plate, I've got the right foot, I've got my ordinary needle on, and I'm ready to go. Oh, one more thing. Bernina have brought out this wonderful yellow bobbin case, and it gives us a tighter tension. So I use this for my freehand quilting and for my embroidery. So it's a yellow bobbin case. So your normal bobbin case is black. Here. This is your normal bobbin case, but I'm going to use the yellow bobbin case today. Okay? Now I don't actually use embroidery for my underneath. I use embroidery thread on the top, but I use ordinary sewing thread in my bobbin. I had embroidery on because I was satin stitching front and back on something the other day. But I'm just going to show you how good the machine is, and I'll put white, oh here we are, I've got a yellow. I'll just put a normal thread on the bobbin, so you know how to put these in, there, around, and in there, okay? So now this one's ready to go, and it's got a tighter tension. Put your thread in and cut it, and you're ready to go. Now, with your frames, some of you will get a frame this side. This is the small frame, and it's really good when you're doing monogrammings on hankies and small flannels. You will then get a frame this side. This size is your medium frame. That's your standard frame. And if you have a look, it's telling me here to use my medium frame for my name because that was the frame that it fits on. But what if I want to add something else to my picture, to my name? I could actually use an oval frame, which is a larger frame. Okay? And if I want to change it on my screen, I touch the medium frame and I tell it I want to use the oval frame. Can you see that? And it's changed my picture. So that was the medium. Sorry, that was the medium there. And that one's the oval. So I'm using an oval. On this machine you can also use a midi, which is fatter, a mega, which is longer, really, really long, and you can use the maxi, which is the biggest frame you can use for this machine. So those are added extras. So I'm just going to go down here and use the oval. Now I'm going to show you when you put your fabric on your frame, you need to have a tearaway or a cutaway on the back for stability. Now let me just show you this because some people get this wrong and have damaged their machine. So you have two parts to your frame. You have an inner and an outer. The outer goes underneath and there's an arrow facing upwards. And you've got your screw on the side. So this goes underneath your tearaway and your fabric. Your inner also has an arrow and you're going to place that on top of your frame. So you've got your tearaway and your fabric. Now you're just going to push this down. Just see where I am first. You're going to push this down so your fabric's nice and straight and tight, and you just push it in. If it won't go down, you need to unscrew the screw robin. So unscrew it so you can actually get it down. Right, so you can see I've got my fabric and my frame in, and it's loose. So what you do now is you pull your fabric only to the inside, pull it in nice and tight, pull it here, and pull it here, and just keep pulling it till it's nice and tight like a drum. You know how a drum, when you play it, is really tight, the fabric. When it's tight, you then tighten up your screw. Now here's the screw here, only a little bit. Now can you see that that's all flush? We do not want it flush. We want to push our frame now so our inner frame is about 1/8 of an inch lower than our outer frame, and I'll show you in a second. Can you see the difference there? Very, very important. So we've pushed it so it's flat and it's lower. Now, I've got all my fabric, I've got my tear away, and I'm ready to go, and that's what it should look like, and it's nice and tight. If you need to tighten it again, just pull it tight. Okay, right. So I have got my name on there. Oh, that's not my pointer. I've got my name on there. So I'm going to push this cross to go out of that program. I have got my name on here, and I would like to add something. So I'm going to go plus. And I've decided I'd like a flower. So I'm going to go back up to the folders. Back up to the folders. And I'm going to go to the butterfly. All of these folders are full with pictures. I'm going to touch one, and I'm going to find something that I like. I'm going to choose that, and I'm going to go to here. Oh, I forgot to do my steps right, didn't I? Because I lost my name. So there's my picture. I'm going to go back up and add my name. That's better. And I'm going to put my name up here so I can move it up and down. Can you see that? So whatever is highlighted here, I can move. If I'd like to move this bottom one, I touch that and I can move the bottom one. All right. If I love it, I can come down here and select it as one design. Okay. If I want to change Robin again, I touch it. Now, when you want to change anything, you push your I for information. You can do all sorts of things in here. All right, I can turn it. If I touch this, I can now use my zigzag dial and turn my name. Sure, I might put on an angle like that. Right. I can come back up to I. I can mirror image it. I don't know why I'd want to do that. I can curve it. All sorts of things. There's so many things you can do. So you can decide what you like. I quite like that curved. So I think I'll go back up to here, and I'm going to touch this one and turn it just around a little bit. How about that? I like that. So now I'm going to go down to the bottom one here and select it all. Right, I'm ready to sew. Close out the cross and push start. It's telling me it would like to move the arm of my module. Do not be fooled that it's telling you to put the frame on. It wants you to go tick. It wants the arm to move. Took me a while to work that one out when I first got mine. Now it's telling me to put that on. If you put this on before it tells you, it will not work. So what you do is you squeeze these little lugs here, and they fit over the bar. So you slide this under the foot, you squeeze those little lugs, and you lift it over the bar. And then you tick. If it's in the right place, it will go to the right position. Now what I love about this program is you can ask it, which mine's already set, to cut the threads in between each colour. And if you want to see the colours, you can change the colours here. I mean, it can tell you what colour order they're in, okay? If you want to change the thread, like this is an Isacord, you can tell it what brand you're using. So you can touch this little picture of a paint palette, and up the top here you can see your different colours, and you can touch this one and you can go across and say, actually I use that company, that's the thread I use, but tell you what I use. So you can tell it whatever thread you actually use. I use Madeira Poly Neon, those are my colours. So you can change it to any colour of thread you like, and you can set it, okay? Do you know, mainly I choose the colours I want. I don't let the machine choose the colours I want. So I just put on whatever colour I like, and I'm going to leave red on, for instance. Okay? So I'm going to now go back to here, and I'm going to tell the machine I want to start. Can you see how it's changed the colours? I'm going to ignore those colours, but it's just to show you. Right, so my machine is threaded with my embroidery thread already. You all know how to thread your machine by now. And you can see this light flashing. You never need to use your foot control. So your foot control comes completely out when you are embroidering. You never use a foot control. Okay? So now all you do is push the button, and it's going to sew all of colour 1. It will start going slow, and then it will go to the speed the machine can sew the stitch perfectly. Now down here you can see that colour is going to take now 3 minutes. The whole design is going to take 15 minutes. Okay, so it tells you here, if I want it to go faster, I can push the here. And now it's sped up my design. Okay, if I want to slow it down, I can slow it down, and I can also slow it down more with my speed dial. Okay? And so every single stitch that it does will do it perfectly for the digitized design. It's very, very clever. So this is a lovely open design. It's really nice. When it's finished colour 1, you just simply cut the thread and you sew colour 2. It will now jump to the next stitch. I'm just going to grab my scissors. Excuse me. So it doesn't matter what thread. This is the thread I normally use, which is my Madeira Poly Neon. And I have a thread stand behind my machine that I put it on. If I'm using a smaller reel, I will stand it up here. And if I'm using a tiny reel, I'll put it on this one. So that's the one I'm using today, but I'm going to use this one next to show you. So you can see it's got 2 minutes left of that design. And I'll just give it a little nudge, speed it up. Some parts it will not do fast because it can't, and other times it will speed it up quite quickly. But it sews beautifully, and you'll see that when you see the result, because I have white thread on the bottom and it's a perfect stitch. So this particular digitized design, you can see it's very open stitch. So now it's showing 14 minutes left and now 13 minutes left. 1 minute left of this colour and 13 minutes left of the full design. If my bobbin runs out, it will start flashing. Alright, so if my bobbin gets low, it will start flashing. Now, what happens if the thread breaks? This is what happens if the thread breaks. That's exactly what happens. I cut it, but if the thread breaks, it comes up and shows you that. So don't freak out and think, what do I do? Just lift your foot up, re-thread your machine, and push the cross on your machine. Now, if you want to, it's showing you where it's going to stitch. You can go back and go back before it broke. So you can use your zigzag dial. Can you see how it's showing me where I'm going to stitch? So I've gone back a couple of stitches to cover that last bit to make sure it's covered. I put my foot down and I think, yes, that's exactly where I want to be, and I push start again. So this is your start and your stop button. Wait for it. Now, can you see what's happened there? Excellent. I was hoping that would happen to show you. This is where people freak out, okay? So when a thread breaks, you don't know that some of it hasn't gone down and gummed up anything. So what I want you to know is it is okay for this to happen. So now I will show you what you do. So what you do is you touch that, you cut your top thread, perfect on cue, put your foot up. Now you're going to take your top thread out. There's my top thread. You're going to turn your balance wheel so your needle is up as far as it can go, and you're going to take out your shuttle. And this is really, really, really important because this is where people get scared. Oh, where's my cutter? Okay, I've taken my shuttle out, and now I'm going to take out my inner of my machine, my hook race. I'm just doing it without looking so I can show you. So I've taken this whole race out. Now I can turn my balance wheel up because everything's loose, and I can take my design off. Now can you see, I don't know if you can, but this is what can happen if you get a jam up. So I'm just going to cut my thread. I'm going to pull this out. I'm so happy you can see this. This is so important. So I'm going to take my foot off, and I'm going to take my sew plate off. All right, now I can see exactly where my thread is caught, and I normally use my little tweezers, and I pull all my thread out. So if I had kept sewing, that would have made a massive mess. These machines are very clever, and they stop straight away if there's a problem. So everything is out of your machine, and everyone's going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? You just turn your balance wheel so that you can put your shuttle area back in. There's a little hole here and a little hole here, and it lines up with these little bars here. So what you do is you just put the bottom in first, turn it till it clicks, and it magnetizes. So you don't have to do anything too hard. It'll just magnetize in. It's really hard when you can't see what you're doing. I'll just try and hold it steady. And it just goes click in a minute. I'm showing you how easy it is. Have you noticed? Turn it round so it's in the right position. It's somewhere there. We're nearly there. Can't see it. Here we go. Super easy, eh? Once it clicks, then you close that like that. Put your bobbin in, and I always push my bobbin out, then put it back in again to make sure everything's nice and tight so we're not going to have any more jam ups. Put your bobbin in, bobbin case in, cut your thread, close the door, put your sew plate back on, put your foot back on, and don't freak out. That wasn't that bad. Everyone freaks out. You need to know how to do that. It's so important. Thread your machine back up. And now I won't get 1 million phone calls and emails on how you fix a jam, because it's not that hard. You just need to slowly go through it. On the back of your embroidery, make sure there's no loose threads like that. Take them out. Can you see how beautiful it's pulling those stitches in? That is perfect. It's exactly what I want. So put this back on, squeeze and put that back on. Now remember, we've already taken it back. Turn your balance wheel down to make sure it's in the right place. Yes, it is. We're ready to go. Push the start button. Now what you can do is stop it and cut that thread, because then you know it's not going to get in the road of your work. Push the button again, and this will just give you a little start on how to thread your machine and how to do your stitching. So after the break, I'll show you how to change the colours of your stitches.